Have you ever felt like your life is building up to something bigger, even if you can't explain what or when? Like you've been climbing, stumbling, learning, and holding on for dear life, just waiting for that one moment when everything finally makes sense? If you've been feeling that deep pull in your gut, that quiet voice saying, something's coming, then this message is for you. You didn't just end up here by accident. This moment is part of something much larger, something you've been walking toward for a long time, even if you didn't realize it. Every challenge you've faced, every disappointment you've endured, every time you kept going when everything in you wanted to give up, it was all leading here. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You've had to carry a lot, maybe more than most people know. You've had to be strong even when you felt exhausted. You've had to pretend things were okay just to keep moving forward. You've learned how to survive without support, how to rebuild after loss, how to find peace in chaos. And while others may have judged you from the outside, only you know the strength it took to get here. Only you know the silent battles you fought, the private tears you've cried, and the dreams you've held onto in the dark. But something is shifting now. You can feel it. And that feeling isn't just hope. It's evidence that your life is about to transform. The pressure you felt, the uncertainty, the delays, they weren't signs that things were going wrong. They were signs that something big was being built behind the scenes. Your effort wasn't wasted. Your patience wasn't ignored. Life has been preparing the ground so you can receive what's finally ready to grow. You're not stepping into just another chapter. You're stepping into a completely new version of your life. One where you're no longer stuck in survival mode. One where your talents are recognized. Your heart is at peace. And your energy is focused on creating something meaningful. You're not just going to feel better. You're going to live better. You're going to breathe easier. You're going to wake up with clarity, direction, and purpose. This shift isn't only about outer success. It's about inner freedom, the kind that allows you to stop living in fear, the kind that lets you release old shame, past mistakes, and the false belief that you weren't good enough. You are more than enough. You've always been enough. And now, the life that matches your worth is finally catching up to you. You're going to notice changes, maybe slowly at first. That project you put on hold suddenly comes back to life. A connection you thought was gone reappears with a new opportunity. A door that's been shut starts to creak open. You'll get good news that takes a weight off your shoulders. And little by little, things will begin to move. It might feel surreal at first, but trust that it's real. You're not dreaming. You're aligning. The financial changes that are coming are not just numbers in a bank account. They are freedom, dignity, and choice. They are the reward for years of effort, struggle, and belief. But this isn't just about money. It's about having the power to say yes to the life you want without guilt. It's about being able to care for yourself and others without fear. It's about finally living with ease instead of constant pressure. And here's the deeper truth. You've always carried something special inside you. That's why the road has been so tough. You were never meant to be average. You were meant to lead, to create, to lift others up, and to make a difference. That calling has been alive in you since the beginning. You just needed time, experience, and a little pain to shape it. And now, that calling is about to come alive in full. This transformation won't just be about gaining success. It will be about becoming someone who uses that success to build something lasting, something that helps others, something that changes lives. Because you were never just meant to win for yourself. You were meant to win so you could help others rise too. That's what real power looks like. That's what real legacy feels like. The people who doubted you, who laughed at your dreams, who walked away when you needed them most, they won't understand what's happening to you now. But they don't have to. This isn't about proving anything to them. This is about proving something to yourself. That you were right to believe in something bigger. That you were never crazy for dreaming. That everything you held in your heart when no one else believed is finally becoming real. It's time to stop shrinking. Stop waiting. Stop asking for permission. You don't need anyone's approval to rise. You don't need the crowd's applause to move forward. You just need your own belief, your own commitment, and your own voice leading you. And you already have that. So get ready, get clear, get focused, because the version of life that once felt so far away is finally arriving, not in the form of luck, but in the form of alignment. You've done the work. You've learned the lessons. You've healed the wounds. And now, you're ready, not just to receive, but to grow, to build, and to become everything you were always meant to be. This moment right now is the bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. You're not starting over. You're starting better. You're not broken. You're becoming whole. And this is just the beginning of something far more beautiful than you ever imagined. If you've ever wondered when things would finally change, this is the answer. It's not just a feeling. It's not just a dream. It's your new reality knocking. And all you have to do is open the door and walk in. Your pain wasn't meaningless. Every tear, every silent night, every struggle was shaping something powerful inside you. You didn't go through all of that for nothing. That pain was building a kind of strength that doesn't break easily, a kind of wisdom that can't be taught in comfort, a kind of endurance that sets you apart. It was preparing you for this moment, for what's about to unfold. Picture this. There's a key in your hand, but it's not metal. It's made of trust, hope, and everything you've survived. That key doesn't just open one door. It unlocks everything the world once tried to shut off from you. Peace, joy, freedom, purpose, and even wealth that lasts. The millions that are starting to come into your life aren't just about money. They're a sign that you're ready, a sign that you've been given access to a much higher level of life. But that key is useless if you just hold it. You have to use it. You have to step forward with courage and do the things you once felt too afraid to do. This is about impact. It's about becoming someone who doesn't just live for themselves. It's about living in a way that lifts others up too. Look at someone like LeBron James. He didn't stop at success. He went further. He built schools, gave scholarships, and helped entire communities. He understood early on that his gift wasn't just about praise. It was about purpose. You're stepping into that same level of responsibility. The money coming into your life is going to do more than pay bills. It's going to build things that last. It's going to change lives beyond your own. You're becoming the kind of person whose life creates opportunity for others. The kind of person whose success tells a story that gives hope. This isn't just about numbers in your bank account. This is about legacy. You've waited a long time for things to shift. You've had to be patient, even when everything inside you wanted to rush ahead. But now is the time, not just to receive, but to rise. You've played small long enough. You've second-guessed your value, your voice, your dreams. That season is over. It's time to understand that your life matters on a bigger level. The wealth that's coming into your hands is part of a much bigger picture. It's going to help people you'll never meet. It will fund visions you might not live to see. It will carry love, healing, and hope into places you may never walk. That's what real wealth does. It keeps moving long after you do. Think of someone like Malala. She was attacked just for wanting to learn. But instead of staying afraid, she stood up and used her voice to change the world. Her pain became the reason thousands of girls now have access to education. That's the kind of transformation you're stepping into. The things that tried to silence you are going to become the reason you rise. Your past is not your prison. It's your platform. And what's ahead of you is far more powerful than anything that tried to stop you. You might feel the weight of this blessing already. You might wonder if you're truly ready, truly worthy. But here's the truth. You don't have to be perfect to be chosen. The wealth that's coming isn't a reward for being flawless. It's a sign that you've been trusted to carry something bigger than yourself. This is not about burden. This is about purpose. You are being lifted into leadership. You are being called to walk with more clarity, more strength, and more kindness than ever before. And you'll know exactly what to do when the time comes. You'll know who to help, what to build, what to say yes to, and what to walk away from. You don't have to force anything. Just walk with faith, give with a generous heart, and stay open to the quiet wisdom inside you. The money coming into your life is not about status. It's about service. It's a tool to make the world around you better. Whether that means building a business, launching a foundation, helping a friend, or starting something completely new, your wealth is meant to move. It's meant to grow into something that matters. Think of Jane Addams. She used her resources to protect the most vulnerable people in society. She didn't chase fame. She chased justice. That's the kind of path you're being asked to walk. One that uses what you've been given to lift others up. And it's not just your money that's growing. You are. You're changing in ways that matter deeply. The person who used to shrink back in fear is becoming someone who steps up with courage. The person who used to worry about being rejected is now learning to speak with boldness. The person who once felt invisible is starting to shine. And it's not the money that's causing this. It's the clarity, the alignment, the quiet knowing that you were made for more, and you're finally ready to live like it. This is confirmation, not transformation into someone else, but confirmation of who you truly are. This is about becoming the version of yourself you were always meant to be. Think about Nelson Mandela. He could have chosen anger after everything he endured, but instead, he chose peace. That's legacy. That's what it looks like to rise with purpose. And that's the path you're on. The money that's coming into your life is not just a blessing. It's a mission. It's a way to bring light into places where darkness has lived too long. It's a voice for people who have felt voiceless. It's a chance to create something that lasts long after you're gone. And here's what's powerful. This isn't just about what's coming. It's also about what's already here. Look at how far you've come. Look at the battles you've survived. Look at the growth you've already experienced. The mindset you carry now is different. You don't just wish for things. You believe for them. You don't just wait for life to happen. You're ready to create it. That shift inside you, that peace, that confidence, that trust is just as important as anything you'll ever receive on the outside. The past no longer controls you. The fears that used to hold you back are falling away. You're stepping into a life where you don't have to beg for permission anymore. You're creating your own path. And the people who are meant to walk with you, they're coming too. The right relationships, the right conversations, the right doors. They're all beginning to open. You're not doing this alone. The circle forming around you will be full of people who build with you, believe in you, and celebrate you without competition. And when this breakthrough comes, it's going to come fast. You'll wake up to good news, open emails that change your life, receive messages you weren't expecting. Delays will turn into progress. Closed doors will open, and opportunities you once dreamed about will start showing up without warning. You're entering a season of acceleration. What used to take years will now take months. What felt impossible will suddenly make perfect sense. You won't have to chase it. It will find you. This is not a fantasy. This is your reality unfolding. Everything you've been through has led to this. Every delay, every disappointment, every quiet prayer. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was for nothing. You've been prepared for this. You're not here to live small. You're here to live fully, boldly, honestly, with a heart wide open and a future worth building. The wealth that's coming into your life is part of something sacred. It's part of your responsibility to leave this world better than you found it. You're not just receiving money. You're receiving a mission, a calling, a purpose that stretches far beyond your lifetime. Everything that once felt too big for you, now it feels possible. Because now, you're ready. You're wiser, stronger, more grounded, more grateful. You're not just being blessed. You are becoming a blessing. You are the proof that miracles still happen, that hope still matters, that purpose is real. This is your time. This is your confirmation. You're not becoming someone new. You're becoming exactly who you were always meant to be. And the world is ready for you now.
Have you ever wondered why people react to you in ways you can't explain? Why they seem drawn to you without you saying a word? There's something in you that can't be easily described, yet it's felt by almost everyone who comes near you. It's not loud, it's not forced, but it's powerful. You might not even fully understand it yourself. You just know that wherever you go, people notice you. Their attention shifts. Their behavior changes. Especially women. You see it in how they glance at you, how their posture subtly shifts, how their tone softens, or how they linger longer in your presence. And it keeps happening, again and again, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because something about you speaks louder than words ever could. This isn't just about physical attraction or confidence. It's something deeper. It's a kind of energy that moves through you without effort. And it's time to stop brushing it off like it's no big deal. It's time to stop thinking it's just coincidence. The truth is, your presence changes the atmosphere around you. You affect people in ways they often can't understand, but they feel it. They respond to it. That matters. And what you do with that energy matters even more. Being aware of this isn't about ego. It's about responsibility. You see, many people walk through life without ever understanding the effect they have on others. But you don't have that luxury anymore. You've seen the signs. You've noticed the patterns. Now, it's about learning how to carry this energy with wisdom. Because if you don't, you'll attract people and situations that drain you. You'll find yourself surrounded by people who want something from you, but not all of them will have the right intentions. There will always be people who are attracted to your light without understanding it. Some will feel pulled toward you because your presence makes them feel alive. Some will confuse their attraction with love. Others will simply want to stand near you to feel important. But just because someone wants to be near you doesn't mean they should be. And just because someone craves your attention doesn't mean they're capable of respecting your presence. That's why you need to protect your energy. You can't be everything to everyone. You can't pour into people who only want to take from you. And you can't allow yourself to be pulled into relationships, conversations, or connections that drain your peace just because someone finds you interesting. Your energy is a gift, but it's not free. It comes with weight. It carries depth. It deserves to be handled with care. Many people will admire you. Fewer will understand you. Even fewer will truly connect with you. But here's the key. Only those who can meet you where you are, with honesty, respect, and genuine intention, deserve to be close to you. The rest, they're just passing through, attracted by the feeling you create, but not equipped to hold space for the person behind that feeling. You don't have to explain your value to anyone. Let your presence speak for itself. People will feel it before you say a word. And those who are meant for you won't need to be convinced. They'll just know. The ones who truly matter won't try to consume your energy. They'll match it. They'll protect it. They'll bring something of their own to the table instead of always taking from yours. But that only happens when you begin to choose carefully. When you realize that just because you have a powerful presence doesn't mean everyone should have access to it. When you stop accepting every invitation, every compliment, every look as a reason to open the door. When you begin to ask yourself, does this person see me? Or are they just reacting to the way I make them feel? You have to be honest with yourself. Are you giving your energy to people who value it, or just to people who want to feel better by being near you? Are you saying yes out of habit, or because it truly feels right? Are you making space for people who are aligned with your values, or just allowing whoever shows interest to take up your time? Your attention is precious. Your presence is powerful. And once you understand that, you stop entertaining shallow connections. You stop needing validation from strangers. You stop mistaking attention for respect. You stop chasing love that doesn't honor your worth. Because the truth is, you are never meant to chase. You are meant to stand still in your strength and let what's real come to you. Not because you're cold. Not because you're better than anyone, but because your energy is rare, and rare things are protected. When you know your worth, you move differently. You speak with more purpose. You stop letting people in just because they're charming or persistent. You start noticing the difference between someone who is drawn to your energy and someone who wants to understand the heart behind it. You start filtering out the noise. You choose peace over attention, depth over distraction, substance over sparkle. That's when everything starts to shift. That's when you begin to feel lighter. That's when you stop second guessing yourself. Because suddenly, you're not wasting energy on people who don't see you clearly. You're not watering dead plants, hoping they'll bloom. You're not making space for people who only want you when it's convenient. Instead, you start building real connections. You begin to draw in people who are secure in themselves, who aren't intimidated by your presence, who don't just want to stand in your light, but want to shine with you. People who don't take your time for granted. People who understand that what you bring is more than just presence. It's clarity, calm, leadership, and depth. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to play small to make others comfortable. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room. You just need to be fully, unapologetically yourself. That's what makes you unforgettable. Not the attention you get, but the peace you carry. Not the eyes you catch, but the hearts you touch. Not the words you say, but the energy you hold when you say nothing at all. So walk with awareness. Know that your presence has weight. Know that people will remember how they felt around you more than what you said. And let that awareness guide your choices. Not everyone deserves to know you deeply. Not everyone can handle your truth. And that's okay. The right ones will come. The right ones will stay. And the wrong ones will fall away. Not because you push them out, but because your energy no longer entertains anything that doesn't align with who you are. This is your time to rise without rushing, to lead without needing applause, to connect without clinging, to walk through the world knowing that the power in you is real, it's rare, and it's already enough. The real you is revealed not when people are watching, but when you're alone with your thoughts, your choices, and your silence. That's when your true character speaks. Real strength, real mastery, comes not from being praised, admired, or followed, but from knowing yourself on a level so deep that no one else can define you. It's not about who claps for you in public. It's about who you are in private when there's no one around to impress and no one there to give you a pat on the back. You can have charm, good looks, influence, and all the attention in the world. But if you don't understand who you are at your core, all of that means nothing. You can be surrounded by people and still feel empty. You can be loved by thousands and still feel lost if your sense of worth is built only on how others see you. Many people walk through life with magnetic energy. People are drawn to them. They light up a room. They know how to be seen. But deep inside, they're unsure of where they're going. They feed off attention because they haven't built direction. They confuse admiration for purpose. They think that being wanted means they're valuable. But admiration can be shallow, and desire can disappear as quickly as it came. When the attention fades, what's left? If all you've built is a surface-level identity, then you'll find yourself stuck, unsure, and chasing the next moment of validation. If you're someone who naturally draws people in, if you feel a presence in you that others seem to respond to without knowing why, then you're not meant to live like everyone else. You're not here to collect admirers, to rack up likes, compliments, or followers. You're here to build something real, starting with yourself. You're not meant to be defined by the way people see you. You're meant to shape your identity from within, based on what's true, not what's popular. It starts by stepping away from the noise and the outside opinions and asking yourself the questions that really matter. Who am I when no one is praising me? What do I value when no one is watching? What matters to me beyond being wanted? What am I doing with my life that feels real, that feels grounded? You have something powerful within you, and that power only becomes truly meaningful when it's connected to a sense of direction. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. You need to know what kind of impact you want to leave behind. Attraction is temporary. Praise is fleeting. But the way you make people feel, the way you inspire, uplift, and awaken something in others that lasts far beyond the moment, it becomes your legacy. It becomes the story people tell about you long after you've left the room. Your value doesn't come from how many people want you. It comes from how deeply you touch lives and how you leave others changed, stronger, more aware of their own worth just because they crossed your path. The way you use your energy matters more than how much of it you have. You may already know the effect you have on people, the way their eyes follow you, the way conversations with you linger in their minds, the way your presence seems to shift something around them. But that gift isn't meant to be wasted. It's not meant to be used carelessly or without thought. It's meant to be handled with awareness. If people come into your life and feel seen, heard, valued because of how you treat them, then you're using your gift the right way. But if people leave feeling used, confused, or forgotten, then your energy is being wasted on moments that don't build anything lasting. You're not here to take from others. You're here to give something real. Your influence should not be used to collect attention, but to create connection. And connection only happens when you treat people as human beings, not as fans, not as admirers, not as objects of your power. Every person who is drawn to you has a life of their own. They have emotions, needs, stories, and struggles. When they feel something powerful around you, when they are pulled in by your presence, that moment carries weight. It's not casual. It's not empty. It's an opportunity to offer something real. You can choose how to handle each of these moments. You can use your influence to impress people and leave them unchanged. Or you can use your presence to help them grow, to help them feel seen in ways they haven't before. People remember those who make them feel more connected to themselves. They don't forget the ones who help them feel powerful, valued, and understood, even if just for a short time. That kind of impact becomes part of who you are. It shapes your reputation, your legacy, and your future relationships. You may already know that you have something rare within you. The way people look at you, the way they react, the way their body language shifts when you enter a space, it's not a coincidence. It's because they feel something. Your presence activates something in them that they don't fully understand. Some feel comfort. Some feel excitement. Some feel deeply seen. But this influence is not meant to be used recklessly. It's meant to be shared with care, with responsibility. The world teaches people to chase power and use it for their own benefit. But real power is not about control. It's about contribution. It's about how many lives you can leave better than you found them. Your energy is not just about how it feels to be admired. It's about what others carry with them after the moment is gone. Some people walk through life collecting moments, taking what they can, and moving on. They don't pause to think about the emotional trail they leave behind. They leave others confused, doubting themselves, wondering if they mattered at all. But you are not here to move through life like that. You are not here to leave people wondering if they were just another temporary part of your story. You are here to leave people feeling stronger. You are here to remind them of their worth. You are here to be the kind of presence that lifts others, not drains them. Everything you do matters. Every glance, every conversation, every time you choose to listen instead of speak, every time you treat someone with care instead of ego, these things add up. They build the story of who you are. Your presence is not ordinary. It is powerful. But power without intention is dangerous. If you don't use it with awareness, you will eventually regret the damage it leaves behind. But if you use it wisely, you can become a source of real transformation. So ask yourself what kind of legacy you're building. Are people remembering you for how you made them feel small, or for how you made them feel seen? Are you using your influence to create a deeper kind of connection? Or are you just enjoying the thrill of being desired without any responsibility for what that desire means? You can become someone who is admired today and forgotten tomorrow. Or you can be someone who is remembered for a lifetime because of the way you made people feel more human. Not just attracted, not just excited, but safe, understood, and respected. That's the difference between a moment and a memory. That's the difference between someone who is chased and someone who is cherished. When you fully understand the power you hold, your life changes. The way you move changes. You stop chasing attention. You stop wasting your energy on shallow things. You start protecting your space. You start being more careful about who you let close. You choose people who match your energy instead of those who simply admire it from a distance. You value deep conversations, not empty flattery. You focus on building things that last. Your energy is rare. Your presence is rare. And because it's rare, you can't afford to waste it. You can't afford to spend it on meaningless situations or people who don't value depth. Your time is valuable. Your experiences are sacred. And your life is meant to reflect that truth. From this moment forward, you must walk differently, not with arrogance, but with clarity, with purpose, with the awareness that you are someone who carries weight in the lives of others. You must move with the understanding that your energy can either build or break, and you must choose to build. Let your life be about more than being liked. Let it be about being remembered, not for your charm, but for your impact. Let people walk away from you not just with admiration, but with a new sense of their own strength. Let your presence awaken something real in others. Let your influence not just light up a room, but light up the lives within it. The best kind of legacy is not built on how many people desired you. It's built on how many people grew because they met you. It's built on how many people walk into the world with more courage, more clarity, and more love for themselves because of the way you showed up. And when you live this way, you won't need recognition to prove your value. You'll know deep down that you were never meant to be just another person in the crowd. You were always meant to be the one. they could never forget.
What if everything they did to break you was actually building you? What if every silent moment, every betrayal, every time they overlooked you wasn't a delay, but preparation for something greater? They thought they buried you. They thought the silence around you meant the end. But they didn't realize you were never meant to stay hidden. You were a seed planted, not to disappear, but to rise. And not just rise gently, but to erupt with power. You carry a kind of fire that doesn't fade. It transforms. What they fought wasn't just your strength. It was the universe behind you. And when people fight what the universe has chosen, they always lose. They misread you. They thought your patience meant weakness. They thought your quietness meant you had nothing to say. They thought your solitude meant nobody cared. But they didn't understand that the quiet around you wasn't emptiness. It was divine preparation. The universe was watching. And now, the universe is moving. Every time they tried to dim your light, they only helped shape your fire. Every door they slammed in your face gave the universe more room to build something better. They celebrated your struggles, thinking you were losing, but they didn't know your pain was a signal that your breakthrough was close. And now they're confused, because when someone they thought was weak suddenly starts walking with unstoppable power, it shakes everything. You were not meant to break. You were meant to awaken. If you feel this deep in your heart, if you feel like this message was meant for you, it's because it is. You didn't just find this message by accident. You were led here. Something greater knew it was time for you to remember who you are. You've always known you were different. You've always felt too much, seen too much, cared too deeply, and for a long time, you kept quiet, not because you didn't know what to say, but because the world didn't know how to hear you. But you were never weak. You were never forgotten. You were hidden for a reason. You weren't passed over by mistake. The universe was protecting you, keeping you from people and places that couldn't hold your power, keeping you away from shallow waters because you were made to go deep. Your loneliness wasn't punishment. It was sacred space. It was silence that prepared you. The universe wasn't ignoring you, it was shaping you, making you ready. And now, that time has come. The rise is happening. You are not just stepping into your next level. You are becoming it. Being chosen means you carry truth, and truth shakes things. Truth disrupts lies. It makes fake people nervous. That's why they tried to stop you, not because you were weak, but because you were powerful in ways they couldn't explain. Even before you saw it in yourself, they felt it, and it scared them. You've wondered why you went through so much, why people turned against you, why the pain wouldn't stop. But now you see, it was never just about survival. It was about transformation. You were never meant to stay small. You were meant to rise with purpose. And that rise is happening now. No more shrinking to fit. No more softening your truth to keep others comfortable. No more explaining your value to people who never tried to understand you. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. You have the universe behind you, pushing you forward. And when the universe moves, no one can stop it. You are not too much. You are not too intense. You are just finally standing in your truth. And that truth is powerful. It changes rooms. It shakes systems. It reveals what's fake and strengthens what's real. You are not here to blend in. You are here to light the way. You don't owe anyone your silence. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your growth. They didn't see what you survived. They weren't with you in the dark. They didn't feel what you felt, cry the tears you cried, carry the weight you carried. So they don't get to question your rise. You're rising because it's time. Because the silence was never the end, it was the beginning. Because the rejection wasn't the final word, it was the setup for something bigger. Because every step you took in pain is now turning into power. Your scars are not shame. They are proof that you kept going. Your pain is not failure. It is evidence of your depth. Your voice is not too loud. It's exactly what the world needs. This is not about ego. This is about alignment. This is not about revenge. This is about reclaiming your space. You are not here to please anyone. You are here to lead by presence, by truth, by the strength you earned in silence. So let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them watch. Your rise isn't for them. It's for you, for your healing, for your purpose, for the ones who are still lost and need to see what's possible. You are the proof that silence shapes warriors, that pain builds power, that being different is a gift, not a flaw. This is your moment. Walk in it fully, boldly, without apology, because you are not just stepping forward, you are stepping into the truth of who you are, and the universe is rising with you. Not everyone is meant to rise with you, and not everyone is allowed to stay when you grow. Some people only had access to an older version of you, the version that gave too much, said yes too often, stayed too long, forgave too quickly, and hoped too hard. That version of you didn't want to lose anyone, so you bent yourself until it hurt just to keep others comfortable. You made room for people who had no intention of truly growing with you. You left the door open even when it hurt to do so, just in case they wanted to return. You kept your heart wide open, even when it was bleeding. But that version of you doesn't exist anymore. The universe saw you struggling in places where your soul wasn't safe. It saw you giving your light to people who only wanted to stand in your glow, not help you shine. And so it stepped in. It whispered enough, and you finally heard it. You answered not with words, but with boundaries, not with noise, but with silence. You stopped explaining yourself. You stopped justifying your growth. You stopped handing out chances your spirit had already said no to. And in that shift, everything changed. Now, as you begin to rise, something unexpected happens. You're not met with cheers. You're not surrounded by celebration. Instead, you're met with distance, with silence, with tension from the people who once claimed to love you. But that's not a reflection of you. That's a reflection of what can no longer hide around you. You see, when you rise, you expose. You shine a light that makes it impossible for people to keep pretending. You hold up a mirror that shows what others have been trying to avoid. And in that mirror, their truth becomes visible. Some don't want to be seen. Some don't want to grow. Some just wanted you to stay small so they could feel big. But you're not small anymore. You don't move the same. You don't react the same. You don't fall into the same emotional traps. You don't argue with energy that already proved it has no place in your life. You don't explain to people who were never listening. You don't fight for love that made you feel like a burden. You see clearly now. You see beyond smiles. You hear the truth behind flattery. You feel the shift in energy before the betrayal ever happens. This clarity wasn't a gift. It was earned. It was born from sleepless nights, from betrayal you didn't see coming, from believing in people who only came to take. You learned through pain, and now you carry vision, a spiritual kind of vision, the kind that lets you know when something is wrong without needing evidence, the kind that shows you cycles before they repeat, the kind that senses dishonesty even when it's dressed in charm. That's not paranoia. That's protection. That's your soul doing its job. That's your spirit guarding what's sacred. And now, when someone's words don't match their energy, you don't doubt yourself. You feel it in your chest, in your body, in your bones. You feel the hesitation behind their support. You hear the silence behind their applause. You see the envy behind their congratulations. You're no longer interested in pretending. You don't keep people close just because they've been around a long time. Longevity doesn't mean loyalty. You now understand that some people were never meant to stay. They were just meant to teach you what fake love looks like. They came into your life not to support your journey, but to delay it. And now that you've elevated, they can't come. Not because you pushed them out, but because they no longer fit. Your energy evolved. Your standards changed. Your heart awakened. And they stayed the same. Or worse, they resented your growth. And now you understand what you didn't before. You don't need to beg people to stay. You don't need to chase them down. You don't need to convince anyone to love you. The ones meant for you will not require pain as a condition for connection. So let them walk. Let them go. Let them leave. You're not losing anything. You're being lifted. What feels like loss is actually release. What looks like rejection is redirection. What seems like silence is sacred stillness preparing you for the next level. You're not breaking down. You're breaking free. You're being pulled out of spaces that couldn't hold your spirit. You're being separated from people who only wanted parts of you but couldn't handle your whole truth. You're being protected from the very things you once prayed would stay. The truth is, not everything can come with you. Not every relationship was meant to last. Not every connection was meant to be permanent. Some were seasonal. Some were assignments. Some were just mirrors to show you what you still needed to heal. And now that you've healed, those mirrors have cracked. They can't reflect anything back to you anymore. You're done repeating old lessons. You're done learning the same hard truths. You've grown past the stage where love meant sacrifice, where peace meant silence, where kindness meant self-abandonment. You are no longer the one who bends until you break. You are no longer the one who softens their truth to make others comfortable. You are no longer the one who fears being misunderstood. You now walk with purpose. You now guard your energy. You now choose peace over pressure. You now honor your spirit over obligation. You are no longer afraid to say no. You are no longer afraid to walk alone. You know now that solitude is not punishment, it's preparation. You know now that silence is not rejection, it's protection. You've outgrown chaos. You've outgrown codependency. You've outgrown people who only loved the version of you that kept quiet and gave endlessly. You've stopped feeding connections that left you starving. You've stopped trying to water relationships that were already dry. You've stopped apologizing for your power. You've stopped explaining your light. And now, as you rise, you no longer reach down to pull others up who are determined to stay low. You've become a different kind of strong. Not the loud kind, not the kind that needs to prove anything, but the kind that's quiet, still, steady, the kind of strength that's been through storms and now walks like one. You are unshakable. You are grounded. You are spiritually armed. Your discernment is your weapon. Your peace is your shield. Your silence is your strength. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to expose anyone. You don't need to prove who you are. The universe does that for you. Every lie told about you now collapses without your effort. Every plan made against you now fails before it even starts. That's not revenge. That's divine protection. They can aim, but nothing gets through. They can talk, but their words carry no weight. They can try to sabotage, but they will only sabotage themselves. Because what you carry now is not just wisdom, it's covering. You have been sealed, spiritually locked. You are walking with a kind of light that cannot be dimmed, a kind of presence that cannot be copied, a kind of truth that cannot be twisted. What used to work on you, guilt, manipulation, gaslighting, it doesn't touch you anymore. You see it coming. You feel it before it speaks. You've become the person who no longer needs to defend themselves because your energy speaks for you. You're not distant. You're selective. You're not cold. You're protected. You're not arrogant. You're aligned. And people will say all sorts of things about you now. But what they won't say is the truth that they can't access you anymore. That their games don't work. That your peace rattles their spirit. That your silence makes them nervous. That your clarity threatens their illusions. You've become someone who doesn't just carry light. You reflect truth. And truth always exposes what's false. That's why they left. That's why they backed away. That's why they couldn't stay. They weren't escaping you. They were escaping what you could see. And now, you don't grieve what's gone. You don't fight to hold on. You don't resist the fall. You let it happen. You let what's false fall apart. You let what's expired fade. You let what no longer feels right leave. You don't cling. You don't chase. You don't force. Because what's meant for you will not require you to suffer. What's aligned with your spirit will not require you to shrink. What's divinely yours will never drain you. It will bring peace. It will bring calm. It will bring truth. And it will stay. You are no longer who you were. You are who you were always meant to be. And now you rise with clarity, with grace, with wisdom, with power, and most importantly, with peace. Peace that wasn't given to you. Peace you fought for. Peace you protected. Peace you now carry like armor. This is your season, not to prove anything, not to chase anything, but to walk in everything you've already become. You're not breaking down. You're breaking through. You're not being cold. You're being called. And now that you see clearly, you don't move the same. Because clarity changes everything. And now that you know, you rise.